Welcome to Where I Long to Be, a magical trip report podcast. My name is Virginia, and I am your host. On today's post trip report, I am welcoming my newly 15-year-old son, Alex, to the show to host the interview so that I wouldn't have to sit here and talk to myself. Alex is usually a fan favorite, so please let me know if you love his hosting abilities so I can share that with him. After we were done with our interview yesterday, I realized that there were two things I meant to share that I forgot about. So I'm going to just tell you about them now. First, when I was deciding between the Marriott and the Hilton at the Anaheim Convention Center, I had seen in some of the Marriott reviews that people had mentioned that there were issues with smoke detectors, but the Hilton was going through some renovation. So I ended up choosing the Marriott anyway, hoping that whatever the issue with the smoke detector was, it would have been resolved before my stay. Well, it was not. The first time that I took a shower, the steam from the shower seemingly set off the smoke detector, which makes absolutely no sense to me since steam and smoke are not the same thing at all. But regardless, that was what set it off. I did have my bathroom door open when the incident occurred. So in future showers, I just made sure that the door was closed all the way. But just a warning for you if you decide to stay at the Anaheim Marriott, something that you need to be aware of, because when I called down to the front desk to ask about it, they very clearly knew it was a regular issue and just told me that I needed to just shut the bathroom door. So very strange. I literally had to jump out mid shower and wave a towel at the smoke detector to get it to stop. And I am also the type of person who worries that someone will think I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing even when I wasn't. So, of course, I was like, everybody's going to think I was smoking or burning a candle or doing something that you are not supposed to be doing in a hotel room. But reality was, I was simply taking a hot shower. So, anyway, something to know about with that hotel. The second thing I wanted to tell you about was what I learned about reservations at Oga's Cantina in Disneyland that is different from Walt Disney World. So, as you may know, when you make a reservation for Oga's in Walt Disney World, usually, more often than not, you will not get to sit in a booth. You usually end up at a standing table, and it seems like to me that the booths usually go to bigger groups of people there. That's just something I've kind of observed. I don't know if that's actually true or not. Well, what I learned about Disneyland's Oga's Cantina is that when you make an advance reservation there, they guarantee that you will get to sit in a booth. Of course, you might be sharing that booth with people who are not in your party. That's just something to be aware of. It is sort of communal seating. But they told me as I was checking in that unless you're late for your reservation, reservations always get booths there. Because I think when I checked in, I said something like, I've got kind of a bigger group. Are we going to be able to sit in a booth? And they were like, oh, you get to sit in a booth because you have a reservation. That's who we reserve them for. So I thought that was really good information and just wanted to make sure that you all knew it too. The more you know, right? And with that, it is time to get into the details from my recent work trip to Anaheim for a conference that was taking place at the Anaheim Convention Center. I was there June 23rd through 28th, and I purchased a 3-day park hopper ticket. I plan to use the ticket on Monday after my arrival, on Wednesday evening, and also on Friday evening. I also had a ticket specifically for Thursday evening that was part of the conference. It was a lot of money to have going towards tickets that I was only really going to be able to use in the evenings, but to me it was worth it because it's so much harder for me to get to California from New York than it is for me to go to Florida on a regular basis. So, all right, that should have you caught up on what you need to know to enjoy today's episode. And with that, take it away, Alex.
So here we are, gonna talk about the Disney trip that you left me at home for. It's pretty nice.
I wanted you to be there. I would have taken you if I could have. I thought you would still be in school on these days. And
Surprise, surprise.
surprise, surprise, the way the regions work, you did not actually have school on the days that I was there. So
Yeah,
next
but
time, next
I
time.
did get to hear about it though, so I do have some questions for you.
Okay. All
So
right.
here's the first question. So you said you were flying early in the morning, so I just want to ask, how was your flight from JFK? With you
Okay.
going over there?
So I had a Lyft pick me up at 4:30 to take me over to JFK, and that means I was up by 3:45 to get ready for that lift pickup. So I got my lift over to JFK. That went fine, and I did, of course, you know me, got over to the airport as early as I could so that I could spend a little bit of time in the
The
lounge
lounge. Uh,
because who
uh,
loves lounge life?
me, me.
Me. So one of my colleagues, Felicia, was actually on the same flight as I was, and I can get two people into the lounge with me. And so I brought her along for the lounge morning, which was really nice because we were able to get breakfast and coffee and grab some canned, like, sparkling water and stuff like that to take with us on the flight. So that was nice. And then our flight was at 7 a.m. It left on time. I was hoping to get more sleep on the plane than I actually ended up getting, but I think I got like about an hour and a half worth of sleep on the flight. And then I watched like some movies and stuff. So we ended up landing in LAX at 9:40. And then it took us about 30 minutes to get our bags from the bag claim. And then we hopped in a lift to go over to our hotel.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
pretty
Okay.
smooth morning.
Yeah, I can never sleep on flights. Like never. There's something about it just doesn't, you know, immediately
Mhm.
knock me out like you.
Usually, it's super easy for me. There have been times when I have fallen asleep before we've ever even gotten into the air, which
That's
is
no, that's impressive because
it's
I did.
impressive, but I'll tell you one time it really bit me in the butt because we were delayed, and because I was asleep, I didn't know, and so when I woke up, I had been asleep for like an hour and we had not gone anywhere yet, and that was infuriating.
Yeah,
So anyway,
it's a gift and a curse. Gift
yes,
and a curse.
exactly.
So you said you landed smoothly. It was a nice takeoff
Mhm,
landing situation. How was your hotel? You know, what did you
mhm.
think about the location, amenities, etc.?
Okay. So we were staying at, well, I was staying at the Anaheim Convention Center at the Marriott, and all of my other colleagues were staying at the Anaheim Convention Center at the Hilton, which are right across from each other. And they are literally a 1 minute walk up the sidewalk to get into the convention center. So, in terms of the location, it was really convenient for our conference. It was also pretty convenient for Disney stuff because I could walk from the front door of my hotel and get over into the gates within about 20 minutes. So that was super easy. I did not walk every single time because sometimes I did not want to walk. So sometimes I got a lift. So as soon as I got to the hotel, which was pretty close to 11:30, I went ahead and checked my bags with their bell services, and then I went and changed clothes in the bathroom so that I could be in something more appropriate for the parks. And remember, like 11:30 is California time, so that was however many hours later in New York time. So my body was thinking that it was, I think, close to 4 o'clock, and it was only 11:30 in the morning. So I think I was done changing clothes and I was heading over to the parks by like 11:45.
Okay. So your plan was to head right to Disney's California Adventure after you settled and would probably park hop to Disneyland since you did have a dinner reservation at a Carnation Cafe. How'd your afternoon go?
So like I said, I was changed and everything by like 11:45. So on my walk over there, I did stop and buy a couple of bottled waters, just so that I wouldn't have to buy water in the park because you know how expensive water can be at Disney. And I was in the park by about 12:15 or so. So not too bad. I did start at California Adventure. And the first thing I did was once I got through the gates, I purchased multi-pass Lightning Lane for the day because at Disneyland, this is a little different than you're used to, but at Disneyland, if you don't purchase it at the same time as you're purchasing your ticket on the Disney website, then you can't purchase it until you walk through the gates. And so I had been kind of on the fence about whether I would get multipass, whether I thought I needed it or not. And then ultimately I decided I did want to get it. So as soon as I walked through the gate, I stopped on a bench and purchased it, and it was $36. And so that gave me access to lightning lanes for the day. And then it also gave me access to ride photos because those are included with their multi pass. From there, I was hungry, but I thought I just wanted to get something kind of quick. So I ended up mobile ordering from a place over in the San Francisco area of Disney
Mm,
California Adventure. And it was a place called Cocina Cucamonga, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. They are pretty well known over in Disneyland and California Adventure for things that are made with birria, which I don't know if you're familiar with birria. I feel like you've had something beef
no.
birria before and maybe you
Uh,
just don't know. It's like a beef, but it's got like a lot of juice to it, or sometimes there's like a juice that you dip into.
ooh. Like beef juice, like meat juice that you dip into?
Yeah, like you dip your sandwich or whatever you're eating into
Oh,
that, like a
yeah, that sounds good.
yeah, yeah. So they do birria really, really well in California because they have a lot of that style of food there because they're so close to Mexico and stuff. So anyway, I got the quesabirria, which was like basically like a quesadilla, but it was with birria beef in it, and it came with like the little dip, au jus sauce on the side. And then I also tried the ube cake flan, which was very good as well, that I had seen, Jarendelle. I don't know if anybody follows Jarendelle. If you don't follow Jarendelle, you should. Jarendelle has a channel on TikTok, and he's also on Instagram, and I
I
just
like
find
that
myself
name. The name's very
yeah,
creative.
yeah. So I think his name is Jeremy, and then his channel is called Jarendelle.
It'd be cool if
Um,
his name was Jaren or something. So then it'd be
yeah.
Jarendell. I think I'd like that.
Yeah, that would be cool. But, you should check him out, Alex, because he has some good content. Like, he'll sometimes do, like, little challenges for himself, like, how can he be the first person during rope drop to get ahead of the crowd and get to Tron, and then he tries different foods, and he's just fun. So,
Like the
I
video of
follow
that guy who was like trying to do like a race. It was like commentary of getting out of the subway.
Oh, yeah, yeah, like that, but Disney, right, yeah.
Uh,
So, anyway, he had tried that ube cake flan when he was in Disneyland, and so I wanted to try it too, and it was very good. And one thing I noticed that is not the case in Disney World is that when I was mobile ordering from a lot of quick services, they were giving me a DVC discount on my order, which in Disney World, pretty much the only food discount we get is for table service. And so that was interesting. It was 10% off. So that was nice. Um, After I ate, I wrote down all the rides and stuff I did. So you're not going to believe how much stuff I got done during this day. Are you ready?
yeah. So I'm so excited to hear about the plans you had without me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
No, you're
sorry.
not.
It was fun. It would have been more fun if you were there, truly. It really would have. Okay. All
You
right.
telling
Here
the
we go.
truth?
Totally. You
No,
know I'm
continue,
telling the
continue,
truth.
continue. Sorry.
Okay. So the first ride I did, just because it was there and it was a short wait, was Mater's Junkyard Jam. And so it was a 10-minute wait standby. And that is basically just like alien swirling saucers, but it's like little maters pulling
That's cool.
things and you hop in. And it's the same premise, though, the same sort of ride vehicle. From there, I had a lightning lane for the Incredicoaster, which was amazing as usual. And
I
Alex is
wouldn't know.
looking really sad at me because the last time that you and I were in Disneyland together, specifically in California Adventure, you had never run a roller coaster with a loop and you were afraid to do it.
Yeah. It's okay though. I'm willing to ride anything now.
Well, of course you are anything now. And then right when he got up the courage to finally do it, we ran over there at the very end of the night and it was already past closing time. And so we couldn't get into the line. So it's a little bit of a sore point with Alex, but I wrote it in your honor
No,
with
you
my lightning
didn't.
lane. And then I enjoyed it so much that I realized they had a single rider line. And so I hopped right back in to the single rider line and did it a second time in a
Really?
row.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So that was cool.
Sure it
From
was.
there, I realized that I had not had any coffee yet this entire day. 'Cause when I had coffee at the lounge, I had, like, 2 sips of it because I wanted to stay tired so that I could sleep on the flight. So by this point, it was really hitting me. So another thing that California does really well is cold brew. So I had it in my head that I was gonna be trying, like, as many cold brews as possible. Now here's where I went wrong, is that I was doing Google searches for, like, the best cold brew in Disneyland and California Adventure, and I had a whole list of cold brews I wanted to try. Turns out most of the ones I had written down had already, like, left the parks and had been replaced with other things.
Oh
So my
no, kind of like how you left me.
All right, listen. So anyway, I had to, like, every time I wanted a cold brew, just kind of, like, make an on-the-fly decision, and I didn't get to try any of the ones I had noted. So the one I got was from a place also in San Francisco, which I thought in DCA had a lot of the best food options.
Wait, isn't that the place from Big Hero 6?
Yes.
Oh my god.
So they have
That's
a
cool.
food area that is called San Francisco. There's no rides or anything like that, but it just looks kind of like a combination of San Francisco and Tokyo mashed
Yeah,
together.
that's
So
kind of the concept of the thing in Big Hero 6, I think.
right, but this is only a place with different quick services that you can get. So, I went to a place called Aunt Cass and I had a strawberry cold brew and it was delicious. And it reminded me a little bit of the strawberry cold brew that we get in February when it's Valentine's time and they do the strawberry flavor. So, from there, I was looking at my app and I saw that Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which is their version of the Tower of Terror, had a 25-minute wait. But by the time I got over there, it had jumped up to 45 minutes and I was like, I'm not waiting 45
I
minutes.
didn't I didn't
I'll do
ride
it
that.
another time.
I don't think. Did I?
I think you did. Yeah.
No, I don't know cuz I was the time I rode Tower of Terror was like when how old was I?
Oh,
No, no, cuz I
maybe
rode it
you
at
didn't.
5, then I took a break cuz I hated it. Then
Uh-huh.
I didn't go cuz we were with my cousins and I like warned them. It's like be warned.
I
It's
think
not
you
cool.
I think you did take the chicken exit.
I don't think I took a step through that place. I think I just waited outside with dad or something.
You don't remember seeing the rocket animatronic
No.
in their little room where you would normally see the Tower of Terror?
No, like
Um,
I genuinely think I didn't even go on it.
okay.
I didn't set foot
Well,
in there.
it's similar. So on their TV screen, they have sort of the villain of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the person who's got all of their things that he's
Who
collected.
is
He's like
it?
the collector, I think he's called.
Oh. Oh, okay,
Do you know
yeah.
who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, the collector has been collecting things. So the things that he's collected are on display in the lobby of the building. So you're walking past those in the queue, and then you go into a room where on the screen, it's like you're about to take a tour of his collection. And so he's on there talking about it. And then Rocket, an animatronic of Rocket, it's a really cool animatronic, like walks in along the edge of the bookshelf and I think he like disconnects the broadcast and then he shows you how you're going to help the guardians escape because they are being held captive upstairs in the tower. And so he explains you're going to get on there and that he would go up there and do it, but his little animal paw prints won't activate or unlock something. He needs all of our hands like to be up in the air to activate for it to be able to see our handprints or whatever. So then you go into your car and then while you're riding the ride, you're helping in some way release the guardians and they're like fighting and there's all this song going on and it's different. So now that you've done Tower of Terrors as many times as you have, Alex,
I'll go on it, yeah.
you would appreciate you would do it and you would appreciate the differences. So, like, in California, the elevator car doesn't come out of whatever you call it, the chamber. Like, you don't
Yeah.
leave it and go to a second chamber. It's just you're in the same one the whole time. But that was neither here nor there because I did not write it at that time because I didn't want to wait for 45 minutes. So I was like, I'll just
Alright.
write it another time. So I did web slingers instead because they had single rider. So it was super easy to hop in and do that. And that is sort of like Toy Story Mania where you're shooting things for points, but you're doing it with the motion of your hand. And so you're supposed to do like a little like a Spider-Man type hand. But my friend Ashley gave me the tip of doing like finger guns, and she said it still works, and then you don't have to work quite as hard. I will tell you, I did that, and I think I scored much better than I would have if I had done the Spider-Man hand,
It
but it
has
was
like
still
sensors on it or
not
something?
yeah, like it can tell where your hands are. And so you're shooting like these little spider robots that are everywhere.
Oh, that's cool.
And then
Wait,
like
why
sometimes they have
spider
different
robots?
because it's a Spider-Man ride. It's web
But like,
slingers.
isn't doesn't Spider-Man control those things?
No,
Is he like
not in this
evil?
case. No, they're just like multiplying. I can't remember why. It's like a technology. He explains it in the pre show room, but of course, I don't remember all the details except that they multiply. And so, as you're working to shoot them, they're multiplying and you're trying to shoot as many as you can. And some of them are different color and count for more points and whatever. Anyway, I did my best. I don't remember what my score was, but it was fun regardless. It was fun enough that I had a lightning lane for it. So I went ahead and did it a second time right in a row because I had the lightning lane right then.
Hmm. Fun without me,
So
right?
without you, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
you weren't
yeah.
there. I don't
Just gonna
know if
specify that.
we've mentioned that yet, but you weren't there. You were
I
back in New
wasn't. No.
York. From there, I did a ride that you have done. I did the Radiator Springs Racers,
Oh, that one was
and
fun.
yeah, so I bought an individual lightning lane for that. It was pretty pricey. It was
What
$22.
what I think would be cool is that if what if they did like what if there's like a screen or something in front of your face on that ride and you had to like tap a button super fast to like win the race.
Oh, to
Like,
affect like whether you
yeah.
win or not.
No, to like affect your speed.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I think like
Hmm.
faster you tap, the more speed you get. I'd probably just bring like a massage gun and then like put it on my finger and just it starts like tapping it like ultra fast. Yeah, then it'd be
Okay.
like it wouldn't even be Radiator Springs anymore. It'd be
No.
like Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was fun. My car won because you know how at the end you're competing against the other car.
yeah.
So the car I was in won. I felt
So
really
you
good about that.
actually won something?
I did. I did. I won pride and joy
Didn't win
for winning.
Galactic Hero though last time, right?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
I did text you. I was thinking about you from the line because this is when I texted you the photo of the guy who was helping run the ride because he looked exactly like Jack Black
Oh yeah, I saw
as
that. That was
the
weird.
character from Minecraft movie. It was really funny.
Hmm. Wait,
All
I'm
right.
sorry. Did you say the character from Minecraft movie?
Is that what you know when Jack Black was in the Minecraft movie and he looked like
Well,
a
obviously. I
prospector?
mean, no. What? You so you only think that he's just been the Minecraft guy and that's all you know him as? He's so much more than just
Alex.
Steve, man.
Alex. Obviously, he's School of Rock. He's the Holiday. He's
He's
so
the
many
Jack Black.
he's so many other things. He's Jack Black, but specifically, he looked like Jack Black from the Minecraft movie running the Cars ride. And so I had to send you a picture.
You did.
I did. It said Jack Black question mark. Why are you
Yes.
here? All right. About this time, I felt like I had done a lot of stuff in California Adventure. And so I decided to go ahead and park hop because I knew that I had things to do over there and I had a 5K to do the next day. So I couldn't stay like super late or anything. What I did though on my way over there was I went ahead and I canceled my reservation for Carnation Cafe because I knew I was not going to be hungry at the time that was because my lunch was very filling. So anyway, canceled that in enough time to not have to get any kind of fee. And then I park hopped over to the Disneyland park. I had lightning lanes I had started booking for Disneyland. And so the first one I had was Pirates of the Caribbean. So I went over there and did that. Pirates is so different in California. I don't know if you remember.
How different is it? What's different about it?
Well, there's like when you first start out, well, first of all, you're in a bayou
Oh,
and then you're going past the restaurant there. So it feels in that way like the Three Caballeros ride. And then when you get into the actual scenes of the ride, there's some scenes that are not in ours at all.
like
So you're
what?
going past like there's a scene where some skeletons are playing chess, kind of like we have the skeletons playing chess in the
But ours
queue
is like
of
secret.
ours. and theirs is actually in the ride. And then there's this like a cave where it's like a skeleton in a bed, and he's clearly the captain of the pirates or whatever. So it's all these scenes in a cave, and then
Hmm.
you go down a drop, and then
Oh,
you go through some more scenes, and then you go down a second drop. So in ours there's only the
there's
one drop.
two?
There's two drops.
That's lucky.
Two. It also does not have the same smell as ours.
What do you mean?
Like, you know how ours, it's like you can, like, it's pirates. You smell it. You can even smell it in the queue where you walk up and you're like, the
It's
water.
like it's like John Williams making music for movies. You just immediately know what it's from.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So it's not like that there. Like there's a little bit of a smell, but it's not the same. And then there's a whole other scene in there when you're kind of towards the end where some pirates are shooting across at each other, and one of them, the direction he's shooting, there's a bunch of like explosives on the other side. So you're like, "Oh my gosh, if he hits one of those, everything's going up in smoke." So there's
In
just a bunch of different
flames.
scenes and multiple drops, and it's different. So
Mm.
that was cool. Then I had a lightning lane for Indiana Jones, which of course has the
Oh my
same
god.
track as Dinosaur, but I think I hate to say this because you know how much I love Dinosaur.
But
Indiana Jones is better.
no, no, it's not.
The ride
That's
the
hugely insulting.
the the ride itself is better.
No, it's
Now,
not. It's
I
not. No, it's not.
listen, listen.
No, I
The
shan't.
pre-show of Dinosaur, you know my guy, Dr. Seeker.
My
I
goat.
I love Dr. Seeker. He is the goat. But the ride itself, I mean, it's so much fun to drive over the bridge and to go through um
The
the
toaster.
part with the part no, I'm talking about in Indiana Jones when you drive
Whoops.
through the with the spiders on the wall
There's no
and
toaster there?
no. And then at the plot part where you go down the hill in Dinosaur, in
Uh-huh.
the Indiana Jones ride, the ball is coming down at you and you go down the hill and just narrowly miss it. You've done this
Yeah.
ride before, so I know you've done it. It's just been a long time.
No, I've just been getting really into dinosaurs lately. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Why are you sorry?
I've been, you know, like actually recently at the program I'm doing right now, I just
Mhm.
keep talking to them about dinosaurs. I sound like yeah,
It's
I
because of
sound like
Jurassic Park, isn't it? Because we've
oh,
been watching a lot of the Jurassic
whoa,
Park movies lately.
yeah. It is because of Jurassic Park. I like the vibe. I like it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, at some point, maybe in the next year, we'll head over to Universal so that you can get your dinosaur fix.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anyway, back to everything I was doing. I had a lightning lane for Haunted Mansion, which is so much fun. From there, I did a standby of Winnie the Pooh because it was only 10 minutes, but it actually was only about 5 minutes. Then I was hungry for dinner, so I went over to Docking Bay 7 because in Disneyland, their Galaxy's Edge is in Disneyland Park. It's back there past the Winnie the Pooh ride and past their Tiana's Bayou Adventure. You kind of enter into to Galaxy's Edge there. It's exactly like the Galaxy's Edge in Florida, like only a couple slight differences in like where you turn or whatever, but for the
I
most part, it
love
looks
Galaxy's Edge so much.
exactly the same. I went to Docking Bay 7
What's
and
that again?
Docking Bay
No,
7,
seriously, what is it?
the quick service,
The what now?
the quick service,
I don't know what you're talking about.
the one with the outdoor seating that we sit at a lot.
Oh, that place. I love that place. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
So that's where I went for dinner and I sat in our same booth that we
Okay.
normally sit at.
Like
And
usual.
I had a kids meal because I was hungry but not super hungry. So I got a kids tip yip,
You're a
which is
child. You're a child.
which is their chicken tender meal with the mac and cheese. It was good. And from there, I had a lightning lane for Big Thunder Mountain because if you go out the back side of Galaxy's Edge there, which normally in Florida would take you out into Toy Story Land, right when you come out there,
Yeah.
you come upon Big Thunder Mountain. So I went ahead and did that. Then I rode Pinocchio with a standby wait of 5 minutes.
They have
And
a
then,
Pinocchio ride? It's weird.
hmm so I also, while I was over there, did the Mr. Toad's Wild Adventure ride, which
Oh,
we
I
used
love
to have
that
in
one.
Florida. It's so cute, but then you end up in hell and it's weird.
What do you mean you end up in hell?
Like the last scene, Mr. Toad goes to hell.
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta look up a YouTube video on it to remind yourself, because I know you've done it before, but you were probably young enough that you did not comprehend what was happening. But yeah, that's what happens. Um, After that, I did Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, and
Awesome.
theirs is completely different than ours, and so I did terribly.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, their guns come off the holsters, which I think is nice, and I think they're going to be doing that for ours. And then their targets light up when you hit them, which is nice, and I think that's what they're going to be doing for ours. But because I didn't know where any of the high value targets were, and I did not look it up in advance, I was not getting high value targets. It looks really different from ours. So it wasn't like, oh, let me look for the robot and aim for his left hand and, all that stuff that we normally would do in Florida. And so I just was not scoring very high. And then there's an added thing where I think the things that are triangle and diamond shaped, the targets that are triangle or diamond shaped are worth more than the circles or the squares.
Hmm.
So it was just complicated and I did not do as well as I would have liked. But
Oh,
whatever. Whatever.
disappointing. A little
Um,
old Disneyland, am I right?
mm, yep. Teeny tiny Disneyland.
Just got their own thing going on.
I had two more things I did during this day. So I did Space Mountain and I did it single rider so that I could ride it
Okay.
very
Oh,
quickly.
that one has the double seating, right?
Yes, it's two people in rows of two, and it's much smoother. It's so much smoother. I love it. It's so much better. This reminds me though, there's something a little bit weird about their on-ride photos that I feel like I should mention for people who might be planning a trip to Disneyland, which is in Disney World, if you have a magic band, or I think even if you have like a ticket that's a card, as long as the ride consents it on you, it
Hmm.
takes your picture and it shows up in your photo pass roll without you having to do anything, right? Like occasionally you get off the ride and you see the thing where you're like, "Oh, that's my picture," and you scan to make sure it gets it. You don't really have to usually. Usually it has captured it for you. The scanning is just kind of like an insurance policy, right?
Yeah.
But in Disneyland, it doesn't automatically go into your photo roll. So I had to take a photo of the photo from when I got off the ride because there's like a code number. And then later, actually just this week, I went into my photo pass roll on my Disneyland app and I took all the code numbers and I entered them in so that the photos would be in my photo roll. Like there's this whole extra step. Like if you forget to take a picture on your phone of the screen with your photo on it and the code, I don't know
Hmm.
how you would ever get your picture.
What do you mean?
So because you have to have that code to claim your picture. So if you get
Oh.
off the ride and you see your photo and you're like, "Oh, that's cute," and then you just walk away without writing down the code or taking a picture of it, you're never getting that picture again.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So something for people who are visiting Disneyland or, planning a trip, just you have to be aware of that. You have to be ready to capture the photo that they take of you. And then the last thing I did was I can't believe I even did this to myself. So I've been saying for a long time now that I was not going to ride the Finding Nemo ride in Disneyland because
Did
of
you
my
ride it?
claustrophobia.
Oh
Here's the
God.
thing, Alex. I have a Disney podcast.
Yes.
And so I felt like, okay, I've never done this ride. And usually I'm willing to ride pretty much anything because, I like thrilling rides.
Hmm.
But this was the one thing I had not ridden. And I said, now's the time. You should do it, Virginia. And so I did it. And I almost immediately regretted it. It was so tight and such a long ride waiting to be able to get out. It just felt so claustrophobic to me. Like it was really uncomfortable.
How was it
I
claustrophobic? Like, what was like? Wrong with
So
it?
you go into the submarine, like you walk down a little spiral staircase down into the submarine, and then it's almost like it's got 2 rows, kind of like on Jungle Cruise where, like, you can walk up one side of it and then there's you walk down the other side of it where there's something in the middle, right? So it's like that, but in a submarine. And so you walk down the row till you get to your spot and then you sit. And then there's only enough room for people's legs. So, like, if you needed to get up and get out, once the ride has started, you're not getting out. You are sitting there for the entirety of the ride. You can't even, like, oh, I need to move down to another seat. Like, once people are sitting and their legs are there, you cannot walk past their legs.
Hmm.
You are stuck in your seat for the 10 to 15 minutes that the ride
Poor thing.
happens.
Poor thing.
It was I had to, like,
Traumatizing. It was
I had to do some
traumatizing.
I had to do some steady breathing. I
Uh-huh.
had to
Did you
think to my
seriously? Was it
yes.
that bad?
It
I don't think it was that bad. I mean,
I no, I'm not doing it again.
do you
I
have
did it
like a
once.
phobia?
Yes, a claustrophobia.
Oh, I don't have
It
that
it's a
actually. Actually,
phobia
no, I
of
mean, maybe
enclosed
I do a little bit.
spaces, right?
No, I sometimes have that. Only if it's like really enclosed, like it feels like pressing like against me, where it's like I feel like it's like pushing down
Yeah.
on me.
Well, here's the thing. You're sitting in your seat, so your knees are kind of going right up to the wall. The wall's right in front of you, and then there's little portholes that you can see out into the water. And so you're seeing the water, but then you're seeing, like, animation of Nemo and stuff, like, on the water. So it's right in front of your face. Like, you don't even have room to, like, move your arms around or
Hmm.
anything. It is so tight and claustrophobic, and I will never ever do it again.
I'll do
And
it.
I know now why I didn't want to do it in the first place. But I did it. I conquered it, and now I am able to retire that ride and say never again.
Good for you.
So
You did it.
that was the end of Monday, June 23rd. And I did have a 5K the next morning, so I didn't stay out
Yeah.
too late that night.
So that brings us to Tuesday. So then on this day, you had the 5K, and before your trip, you weren't sure what the course would be. So you weren't sure whether you'd be running around the streets, on the streets of Anaheim or what, you know. But how was the race? You know, how'd you do? Because our last race,
You
traumatizing.
smoked me.
Yeah.
In the Well, I did. I wore my Run Disney shirt that we got from doing the 5K in February, my pink shirt with Mulan on it. So I wore that for the race. The race was at 7 a.m. right outside my hotel. So all I had to do was kind of lay my clothes out the night before, get into those clothes, and then walk downstairs. And um, we were not running along the streets of Anaheim. And here's where I found this race to be a little difficult is
Hmm.
when you're running a 5K where it has a bigger course, like when we did the 5K in February, you just keep running and eventually you hit the finish line, right? You don't see the fast people coming back past you. But in this case, because I guess they couldn't let us run in the streets, the 5K course was all around the convention center. So we never left the convention center property. So we had to do 3 big loops, and that was the 5K, which meant that the people who were so fast eventually started passing the rest of us. And so you're having to watch these faster people go past you. And then also I was doing like a walk, jog type thing, and I found myself jogging more when I was going past the people because I was like, "Oh, people are gonna see me. I better be jogging." So, like,
Gotta
when you
be
come
jogging.
gotta be jogging. So I came back around, and every time I'd go past, like, where the starting line was, there were all these tables with sponsors there that were sponsors of the convention and sponsors of the 5K. So they had set up there early to have things for us. So they had, like, snacks, and in some cases they had, like, little, like, like a what is it called? Like a cooling towel or, like, things like that that you could get before the race if you wanted to use for the race or not. And so there are all these tables, and I knew a couple of the people who were at the tables because work with them in my work. Like, their businesses work with my work. And so I knew these people, and I was like, I got to be jogging when I go past these people. And so as
Hmm.
a result, like, on my second loop, I was coming around to pass the finish line again. and they had like a DJ that was like cheering people on and calling you out by your number. And I can't remember what my number was, but he was essentially like, "All right, here comes 210. Yeah, bring it home," or something
Was
like
that you?
that.
You were 210?
That I don't know if that was my number. I can't remember, but that's
Oh,
he was calling out my number, whatever it was. And I was like, "I still have one more lap to go."
yeah.
So there was that. But with my jogging and my walking, I was doing about 15-minute miles, which when I walk a mile, it's about 20 minutes. So that was a
Mhm.
pretty good split for a jog slash walk. So I finished in about 45 minutes. So
Okay, that's good.
I didn't win the race, but I felt like I did my best. And
Okay.
perhaps I did a little too well for myself because I was sore the next day, and I was even more sore the day after that.
Mm.
So, anyway, it was good though. I'm glad I did it. I will anytime I do this conference, I'll sign up for the 5K because it's for charity, and I feel like it's built-in exercise. It
Mm.
forces me to get out and do some exercise.
So after the race, you planned to work remotely until your conference activities started in the afternoon. So where did you end up working remotely?
Well, I feel like if you're at Disney, you should have a little bit of Disney magic. So I did not have a park ticket for this day, but I decided to walk over to the Disneyland Hotel, and I got a coffee there and sat and worked on my laptop. And then when I was done with my coffee, I was ready for lunch. And so then I walked across the street to the Grand Californian Hotel and went to their quick service and sat and had lunch and had my laptop out. I was doing a Zoom meeting with somebody from my team and answering emails and all that kind of stuff. And so I was doing that until probably about 3 o'clock. And then I needed to be at the conference stuff at 3:30. So I was already like after the race, I had already showered and gotten my clothes on that were appropriate for work activities. So I was already dressed and ready to go for that. So at 3 o'clock, I walked back to the convention center, and all the conference activities started. We had an amazing speaker for the first night of the conference, and it was LeVar Burton, who, if you are old enough, you probably remember LeVar Burton from the series Roots, which was amazing, which I'll have to show it to you at some point, Alex. He was so good in that. He also was the host of Reading Rainbow. Have you ever heard of Reading Rainbow?
No.
Oh, gosh. So it was a show when I was younger where he would tell you about different books, and they would read a book to you, and people would do like book reviews for kids, and it got kids inspired to read. So it was great. But he was also in Star Trek, The Next Generation, and he's done a lot of things. I feel like you would recognize him if you saw his face, but he was the speaker.
Okay.
And then that wrapped up around, I want to say around 6 o'clock. And then there was a reception right after where we could kind of have some drinks and mingle with other people from the conference. And so we did that for just a little bit. But then my colleagues met up with me at 6:30 outside of the reception, and we walked over to downtown Disney because I had made us all a 7 p.m. dinner reservation at a restaurant over at downtown Disney called the Jazz Kitchen. So it's like New Orleans style food. The food was so good. We split an appetizer as a table, and I can recommend it because it was very good. So we split the Southern garlic cheese bread, delicious.
Mm.
And then for my entree, I ended up getting two smaller things to make into my meal. So I had the gumbo, and then I had a salad with that. It was delicious. And at the end, we ordered some beignets, and we all split them as a group for our dessert. I had a cocktail while I was there that was very good. I had the Celebration French 70, which was gin, prosecco, lemon juice, and lavender simple syrup, and it was delicious too. So, all around a good meal. Would highly recommend the Jazz Kitchen if anybody's looking for a good place to eat in downtown Disney. And after that, I went to bed early because I was really tired from doing the 5K and working all day and having the conference activities. So, I didn't stay up
Mhm.
too late that day. So, that's that.
Now we're on to Wednesday the 25th. So on this day, you had conference activities all day, and you didn't finish that until around 5:40ish. But then you and your two colleagues have planned to head into the park. So let's hear about your park time this evening. What did you do?
Well, first of all, I was going to have two colleagues with me in the parks this evening, but then only one of them ended up deciding to get a ticket for this night. So it was just me and Emily, who I work with very closely. She's a part of my team. And we had so much fun. We had the best time. So, um,
Without me.
without you. But I talked about you a lot, and I'm sure
I'm
she
sure
will
you
attest.
did.
I'm
Talked
sure
about
she will
how
attest to
how
that.
much joy it brought you to leave me at home.
Well, here's the thing is Emily has a little boy, a little baby boy, still a
Oh,
baby. And so I talk about you and try to give her like little glimpses into what life might be like when her kid gets older.
with a
So,
teenager.
yeah, right now he's a super sweet little baby.
Is she
But
scared?
you're
Wow. So
still
I'm
my
not
super
sweet?
sweet little baby.
No.
No, you'll always be my baby.
No. I'm a man now. I'm a man now.
Yes, you are. All right. So she actually got a park hopper for this day since she knew I had a park hopper, and so we started off in California Adventure, and the first thing we did was the Little Mermaid ride because it was standby and it was only 5 minutes, and then we needed to get something to eat because it was dinner time, and we'd been in the conference all day, so we stopped and had some dinner at the Smoke Jumpers Cafe that's over there in the sort of area by Soren, which I never ended up doing while I was in California just because the line was always so long and it's exactly the same as in Florida. So I did not end up doing it. Again, I had a kids' meal here.
Oh my god.
I had kids' chicken fingers, which I don't normally do, but I just wanted a little something like with some protein and to keep me going. Spoiler alert: we did have a second dinner later in the evening
With the
because it
kids'
was.
meal?
Um, I
Speaking
can't
of
remember.
meals,
I can't
do you
remember.
remember that amazing $80 lobster I had that you had to make me say, "Oh, you have to talk about this forever or
Uh huh.
else it wasn't worth it and you're going to be in trouble."
Yeah, that was at Narcoossee's in the
Yeah.
Grand Floridian.
Best
Yep. Yep.
lobster ever.
Yeah, I'm glad you keep remembering to talk about it because it was super expensive and yeah, it makes me feel like maybe it was worth it because you actually loved it that much.
No, it was worth it though. I actually really liked it.
All right, we got more to get through.
You know
So
what I'd love though?
can I can
You
I
know
keep
what
on
I'm
with
about to
me?
say though?
Okay. All right. No. Go ahead.
You do know what I'm about to say. You know what I'd love?
No, I don't.
Red Lobster.
Oh goodness.
I
Yeah.
want Red Lobster.
I
They
don't
have an
know.
$100 meal there where you can get 10 times the amount of stuff that I got
Alex,
at that
I think you've
restaurant.
probably been to a Red Lobster once in your life, maybe twice.
I've definitely been to a good Red Lobster once.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why you keep romanticizing Red Lobster in your mind because you
Because
kept bring.
mukbangs keep coming onto my For You page.
Oh, of people eating Red Lobster?
Red Lobster, yeah.
Oh,
It
that's
looks
why.
so good.
Okay. Because you kept asking about going to Red Lobster when we were in North Carolina at the beach. And I was like, why on earth would we go to Red Lobster when we could go to like a local seafood place?
Yeah, but there was no lobster there. I only had soft shell crab.
Yeah, because lobster is not really
Yeah.
native to the North
Anyway, we're,
Carolina
we're
coast.
sidetracking. We're
Yes,
sidetracking.
we are. Can I get back to my plans? Okay.
Yes, you
Or
can.
not my plans, what actually happened. Okay. All right. So after we had our dinner number one, we went over to the Pixar Pier area and we rode Emotional Whirlwind, which was standby for 5 minutes. That's the inside out themed,
Oh,
circle ride. Like it just goes in a circle. But it was cute and it was only 5 minutes. So why not? Then we did Incredicoaster with a lightning lane
lucky.
and so much fun.
Of
And
course.
then we ended up buying another individual lightning lane for Radiator Springs Racers. It was $22 again, which I feel like if I had been in the park this night by myself, I would not have paid $22 to ride the Radiator Springs Racers again because I did that the night before. I paid for it the night before because it was like I want to do it. I don't want to have to wait. But Emily had not been to California Adventure, and so she had never done it before. And so, you know how much I love to watch people do things for the first time at Disney and get into it and everything. So I was like, if you want to do that, I would be willing to do it too. And she did. And then so we each bought the $22 individual lightning lane, and we were both glad that we did because it's the queue is there's nothing exciting about the queue. It was a really long wait, and it was really nice to just be able to get through it super quickly. From there, we went and did PhilharMagic standby for 5 minutes, which is exactly the same as in Florida, but Emily had not done it before and she loved it.
Hmm.
Then while we were over there, we did Monsters Inc. standby because it was only 10 minutes and it was so much fun. Listeners, Alex is holding Walter, our little pup, up in front of his camera
You're
so that
just so cute.
he does look really cute from here. Oh my gosh. You're a star, Walter. You're a star. All right. Um, After Monsters Inc., we decided that we would go ahead and park hop because the only other thing we really were kind of trying to do in California Adventure was Mission Breakout, and the line was too long, and California Adventure closes at 10 anyway, and so we were like, let's just go ahead and park hop. So we did Big Thunder Mountain was standby. It was only 15 minutes. Then we
Yeah.
headed over to Haunted Mansion and did that standby for 5 minutes. Then we did Pirates of the Caribbean standby for 5 minutes. Then this is when we got hungry for dinner number two, which
Kids
was we did
meal,
it.
I assume.
What?
Kids meal, I assume.
I don't know if it was a kid's meal or not, what I got. It was small, so maybe it was. It was like a chicken and rice bowl. I think it was a kid's meal.
Oh my god.
But it was good. It's exactly what I needed. And then after that, we had two final lightning lanes for the night. We did Star Tours with a lightning lane, and then we ended our night with Space Mountain with a lightning lane. And that was right at about midnight when Disneyland was closing. So we kind of closed out the park. So, considering the fact that we were in our conference activities until 5:45, so I don't think we got to the park until probably sometime closer to 6:30. So between 6:30 and midnight, we did all that stuff, and we just had a great time, and I downloaded all of our ride photos, and you can tell we were just having the best time. It was just a lot of fun to see somebody else do things for the first time, and then she grew up going to Disney World, so she had an appreciation for, the parks, and it was exciting to see her experience Disneyland for the first time, and she's just cool. So we gabbed the entire night, had a great time. We had a lot of laughs, and I'm glad that she was up for it. So that was it.
So now we're on Thursday, the 26th. So you said that everybody at the conference was going into Disneyland this day. So you only had meetings until 4 p.m. So, all of your colleagues were joining you for your park time. So what happened? What went down?
Well, this was actually the conference activity for the night. So they had offered everybody as part of the conference, you could buy a ticket for Disneyland for this night for only $25. So pretty much everybody who was at the conference was doing this as a part of their conference. So the meetings only went until 4. You could only go to Disneyland, not into California Adventure. So we could get into Disneyland as early as 4:30. So my colleagues and I had our meetings until 4, and then we all got changed. Actually, I think we got changed before our last meeting. Like there was like a 15-minute break or something, and I think most everybody went back and put on the clothes that they needed to be wearing for the park so that we could, as soon as the meeting was done, go ahead and get over there. So we ended up taking a lift so that we could get over there right away. I was hoping and was pleasantly surprised that everybody in my group was willing to get the multi-pass lightning lane. So as soon as we got there and got through the gates, we all purchased our multi-pass, which I think was $36 again. It's a little nerve-wracking sometimes when you're walking around with a big group, right? So I had 5 of them with me, and with 5 people in tow and everybody having things that they would have been interested in doing and people who weren't familiar with where things are, this had the potential to be kinda crazy and chaotic, but I have to say, this was such an amazing group of people to do this with because
Woo!
everybody was so cool and flexible. They got the multipass and then they were like, you just tell us what to do. I kept saying, like, now we're going to do this because there's no wait here. So we can just do standby. Now I'm going to book this for us next because it makes sense because of where we're going. And I just kind of like did the whole evening for us and they just followed along. Nobody got lost. Everybody kept up with the group. And so it was fantastic. So, first thing we did when we got into the park was my colleague Danielle really wanted to get some ears for herself. And so we walked in and immediately went over to the hat shop there where they sell a bunch of ears. She ended up picking out the Cruella de Vil ones that are super
Ooh,
cute.
that's
They're
cool.
like fur, and like one of the ears is black fur and one of the ears is white fur, and it's just super cute. And she had worn an outfit specifically because she wanted to get ears that went with it. So she was wearing a black top and then she had like red lipstick on and she was ready to go to purchase ears to go with this look. So she succeeded. She got those ears. They were the perfect fit and so cute. So then we first walked up Main Street and we took some photos in front of the castle that turned out so good. So happy with how they turned out. We were just getting the best lighting, so we all look great. And you can just tell we were excited about our night to kick off our night. So I'm just going to run through all the things we did during this night. So first, we had a lightning lane for Star Tours, and we did have some big Star Wars fans in the group, and so that was a lot of fun. And Star Tours, as you know, has different scenes, so you sometimes we'll get one scene, sometimes we'll get another. So it was nice that we got a different scene than Emily and I had the night before. So that was kind of cool to have something with a little bit of variety. Then we went over and did Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin. Again, I did better than the night before
Did you get
or
Galactic
or
Hero
2
though?
days before. No, no, I
Exactly.
did. Spoiler alert, didn't get it the entire time I was there.
Oh, really?
So, we'll see what this does for your and my scores when they update the one in Florida because I'm a little nervous, to be
Is it the
honest.
one that they're planning to do in Florida? Is that like already in Disneyland?
I mean, I think what's gonna happen is, like, the scenes are still gonna be the same as we're used to, but they're swapping out the guns so that the gun can come out
No,
of the
like is it the
holster.
same as the one in Disneyland right now?
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
Oh, okay.
Except I don't think they're gonna change the scenes, like, I think we're still gonna have our robot and, all that stuff,
Oh,
but
thank
they're gonna
God.
put different targets.
Okay.
So, we'll see. I don't know, I'm a little bit nervous for us.
I'm not nervous. I'll be fine. I'll still win.
I'm sure you'll be fine. You always are.
Superman taught us a hero never quits. I want to see that movie so bad.
Okay. Alright. We'll have to see it. Alright.
Okay.
Anyway, let's see, what else did we do? After we did that, we went over and thank goodness when Emily and I were in Disneyland the night before, I saw that Rise of the Resistance was closed. And so I walked over and I was like, hey, is it going to come back up? And then I learned that they close Rise of the Resistance before the park closes. I can't remember what time it closes. I want to say like 10, maybe.
Oh,
It's kind of early before the park closes. And I had planned, and if you were listening to the pre-trip report, you know that I planned that we would ride Rise of Resistance at the very end of the night. So there'd be like hardly any wait for it. And so I learned that it closed earlier than expected. And so I was able to tell the group, hey, we should ride this right now because it's going to close and then we're not going to have a chance. And like I said, we had some big Star Wars fans in our group. So
except
I
for me.
asked, well,
Uh-huh.
except for you, of course, but I asked the group if anybody wanted to do the individual lightning lane for Rise of the Resistance. And I explained to them they could do what they wanted to do, but that if they were a Star Wars fan, it was a really good ride and that they might want to consider it. So we got the individual lightning lane for Rise of Resistance. I cannot remember, and I did not write down how much it was. So sorry about that. But they loved it. It was particularly fun. My colleague Jason is a really big Star Wars fan, and watching his face as we came off of the ship and you see the whole room full of the stormtroopers and all of that, and then the moment in the ride when the drop happens, it was just I got so much joy out of watching him experience it for the first time. as a Star Wars fan. He was just into it. And I highly recommend, at some point, if you're a big Disney goer, make sure you have the opportunity to take somebody who is going to enjoy it, who's never done it before, because it will increase your enjoyment of your time in the park. Just, it'll multiply that 10 times over. Right. And I already enjoy it a lot. So that's saying something, I feel like. After that, we all decided we were ready for some dinner. So we stopped at Docking Bay 7 because it's a go-to place for me to have quick service because Docking Bay has some good things. So I had the vegan meatballs, which were very good, and then they had like a strawberry dessert that kind of looked very futuristic, and it was pretty good too. I don't know that I would like rush to go get it again, but if somebody bought it for me, I'd be happy to eat it. From there, we had a Smuggler's Run Lightning Lane, and at this point, another colleague. So at this point, um, there's 6 of us. Is that right? No, there's 5 of us that I am doing rides with, myself and 4 colleagues. And at this point, another colleague who also works in my organization, just not directly with me, named Jeff, joined up with our group. So then we had 6 of us total. And it was so much fun to have Jeff join us because Jeff used to work
Wait, when
more
did he join you? Like around
directly
what
with
time?
me. Um, at around dinner. So he came to
Ah,
Docking Bay 7 with us and we were like, "Oh my gosh, it's Jeff." And so and so he sat down and he had dinner with us and we were like, "Oh gosh, we have a lightning lane for Smuggler's Run." And I said, "Well, do you want to get lightning lanes too? If you want to, you can go ahead and get it. And then from here on, we can start including you in our lightning lane." So he went ahead and did that. So for Smuggler's Run, they have a single rider line. So I was like, "Jeff,
yeah.
we're going to ride with our lightning lane. You go do the single rider line." He got done so much faster than we did.
I just remembered the last time we went on Smuggler's Run, how we walked in and we saw there was this family in front of us, and like I looked at them and I saw there was a kid in the
Hmm.
pilot there was like the floor and the tile. She was
Yeah.
standing on the pilot tile. I was like, oh god,
No.
why? This is gonna suck. And like of course we like crashed a few times and it was terrible.
Yeah.
No
Listen,
offense to the kid. It's only a kid, but like
if even if you're a good driver in real life, it is hard to drive on Smuggler's Run.
oh no,
So
it's not. No, I
it is
think
for me.
you need communication.
Mm,
Communication,
okay.
like you know,
Mhm.
like one of you has to be like telling the other person where they're gonna go,
Mhm.
like going left, going right, going all this
Okay.
stuff.
I guess.
Like
I've
that
never
would
been
work.
that coordinated at it. But
Yeah,
I did not pilot this time either cuz we had Jason, who was a big Star Wars fan, and also my other colleague Maurice, who was a Star Wars fan. So we were like, "You two be the pilots," and then I was like, "I want to sit at the back and be an engineer and hit a button. That's all I want to do."
yeah.
So we did
No, no,
that.
choose Gunner. Gunner's simpler.
Yeah, I think I
For
was
Gunner, you just
engineer.
hold down the button. It's
Oh, I
easy.
didn't know that.
It's
No.
super fun
Yeah.
actually.
Okay. All right. Well, I was whoever sits in the back, which I think is the engineer.
Yeah.
So,
Continue.
Jeff did the single rider and he was done faster than us. But from there on out, we were able to do the rest of our things together. So we went over and we rode the teacups and we did it standby. And we actually did it twice in a row because, well, I should say, most people did it twice in a row. Maurice and I did not do it twice in a row. We did it once and we were like, that's enough. And so then I just videotaped the others doing it because there were some people who really wanted to spin in our group. And I'm not into the like spinning it as fast as I can, unlike you, Alex.
Yeah.
Yes. So after the teacups, we went over and did Haunted Mansion with the Lightning Lane. And then Pirates was only 5 minutes. So we went and did that as a group. And then we did Jungle Cruise standby for only 5 minutes, which, if you're a Florida person, that's crazy that it's only 5 minutes because it gets a really long wait in Florida for like nearly the entire day. Then we did Indiana Jones standby. It was 20 minutes, which is really not that bad. So we went ahead and did that. And then we had a final lightning lane of the day, which was Big Thunder. And it was so much fun because Danielle is not really into roller coasters. And so she was just screaming like crazy as we did Big Thunder Mountain. And it was a lot of fun. From there, we had an Oga's reservation that I had made at the 60-day out mark so that we would have a way to sit down and have a little late night snack at Disneyland. So we each had a drink there at Oga's together. And then from there, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway was only 5 minute standby. So we did that. And then we all decided that we would quickly get in line for Space Mountain before the line actually closed for the night. It said it was going to be a standby of 45 minutes. It turned out to be about 30 minutes. We like power walked all the way up to Tomorrowland to be able to get on right before the park closed. And so that was the last thing we did that day. And we just, I can't express how much fun we had as a group. And it was awesome to be able to bond with my colleagues like that and show them what I love about Disney and make sure that we made good use of our time and our lightning lanes and everything. So I feel like we
Mm.
got a ton done. So it
Yeah,
was
but
a good time.
then, of course, there was Friday. This was your last full day in Anaheim. So how did it go? How did you have any energy left for anything? Did you have enough fun? What did you do?
Well, we did have conference activities for the whole morning. Later in the afternoon, after all of that wrapped up, I wanted to get in a little bit more part time before I went to bed because I did have a ticket for that day. So I had some lunch at Pim's Test Kitchen, which was delicious, and then I did some final rides while I was there before I closed out my day. So I did Lightning Lane for Incredicoaster one last time. I had to get some lemon Dole Whip because their
Oh,
lemon Dole
love
Whip
that.
in California is so good. You remember it, right?
Yeah, that was from
Ugh.
the place that we went to. That
Yeah,
was it.
the
It was so good.
adorable
Yeah, continue,
snowman.
continue.
Yeah. So that was really good. Then I noticed that the Guardians mission breakout was a standby for 25 minutes. So I went and quickly got in the line, which is awesome, except that one of the chambers was down. And so it actually ended up
Oh,
taking like 40 minutes instead of 25. But whatever, it meant that I did it once before I left. Um, from there, I didn't really have anything else I wanted to do in California Adventure. I was kind of done. I was
yeah.
really tired. It was a long week, so I was like, "All right, let me just walk through the stores on my way to the front of California Adventure to see if there's anything I want." There wasn't. Um, and then I went over and hopped to Disneyland one last time, really just to ride Small World because I had not done it yet, and Small World's different in California. So I did the Lightning Lane for Small World and did Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin one more time because I wanted to get a good score. I still did not get Galactic Hero. So
No.
it just didn't happen.
No. Why?
Um my one of my colleagues wanted a t-shirt that he had not had the chance to come back and get on our way out on the Thursday night. So I promised him I
Mm.
would go get that. So I got that for him. And then it was pretty early at this point. It was probably like 7 o'clock
Did
in
you
the
decide
evening.
to go home at that time?
I went back to the hotel and I brought my dinner back with me from the parks, and I worked on getting packed up, and I watched a little bit of TV, and I crashed. I was just so
Yeah.
tired. It was a long week.
Understandably. Understandably.
Yep.
Um. So then it was your last actual day, and
Mhm.
in Anaheim, Disney, in California. You were done.
Mhm.
So what did you do that day?
Well, my flight was at 11 a.m., so I didn't really have time to do anything. So I scheduled myself a lift for 7:45 to pick me up at the hotel, and that was fine. It picked me up on time. I don't know if anybody else knows this, but when you schedule a ride with Lyft to an airport, if they are late by like more than 5 minutes or something like that, they give you $100. So they're always on time.
Oh, wait, did they
Yeah.
get you? You should have like
No, they were on time. They're always on time. It's like their airport guarantee so that you
should have
know you're
ran
going to make
from
it.
them.
No, no, they don't give you very long because it's a scheduled time. It's not like they're going to wait around for a long time if you're not standing there. So they were on time. I got over to LAX and that was all good. But then my flight was delayed and
No.
I was supposed to leave at 11 a.m. It didn't leave until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was delayed long enough that the airline gave us vouchers to be able to eat lunch at the airport. So like I ate breakfast when I got there because I thought I was getting on the plane. So I got myself over to the airport. I had some breakfast and then I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. And
Yeah. Then
then
you were
it was
just out.
delayed. So they gave me a voucher. So I was able to buy lunch once I was hungry for that. And then it didn't leave till 3, which meant that instead of getting into New York before 8 o'clock in the evening, which was my whole plan, I did not get into JFK until like 11:30, which meant I did not get home until about 12:30. So it was a really long day.
Yeah.
You
Understandably.
know, I just felt like I spent the entire
Without
day
me.
because I did well without you
Wow.
in an
Okay.
airplane or
Just
an
gonna attack
airport
me here, huh?
the entire day.
But
um,
yeah.
but anyway, it was a good trip. So by the time I got back, it was after midnight. So when I
Yeah.
when I actually got home, it was June 29th.
My birthday.
It was your birthday. So
My
I
birthday.
immediately you were still up when I got home. So I came in
Yeah.
and I wished
I
you a happy birthday.
yeah,
And then
you
I
were one of the
reminded you that
last people.
well, but I reminded you you weren't actually 15 yet until like 7:30
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah.
So I was one of the last
Anyways.
people to see you before you turned 15
Oh, good for you.
officially.
That's an accomplishment. So, how was this trip in comparison to the other times you visited Disneyland? Was it any different? Was it better? Was it worse?
It was really different because it was a work trip. So that was a challenge. But it was a lot of fun. It was just if it definitely felt like a work trip. So, I was over in the parks as much as I could be, but I was mostly sitting in meetings most of the day. But I had a good time. And yeah, it was different. It was different going with work people that I work with than
Mm-hmm.
with my family. So,
All right.
I enjoyed it, but it would have been cooler if you were there.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have been. But anyways, but when do you think is your next trip gonna be to a Disney park?
To any Disney park?
Yeah, any Disney park.
Well, I know when my next trip is going to be,
Is
and it's
it?
going to
Wait, don't
be
tell me, don't tell me. August.
yeah, so the end of August. We
Yeah.
are
This
doing
August?
a this August. So,
Wait, oh, this August?
yes, next month.
We're going next month?
Alex, are you even kidding me right now? We're doing a mother-son trip Labor Day weekend.
Oh, no, no, I got that confused with another trip we were possibly taking, where it was like we
Oh,
were gonna go to Universal.
oh, okay.
God, I
No, no,
miss
no.
Universal so
No.
much.
Okay, so here's the deal. So at the end of this August for Labor Day weekend, you and I are going on a mother-son trip to
Woo!
Disney World.
We can get Red
I
Lobster.
have I have no, we're not eating at Red Lobster.
Oh,
I have invited dad, obviously. He doesn't think he's going to come. Uh,
yeah.
but I keep reminding him that he is invited. And actually, I'm trying to spread the love with the travel agents that I use for all the travel agents that have been on the show before. So my travel agent for this trip, Melissa, I reached out to her and made sure that she went ahead and added Charles onto our rooms so that if he does decide to come, he will already be included in there. So we have that trip. So what you're talking about with Universal is that instead of going when we normally go in
Foreshadowing.
February, because we normally go in February, but then when we go in February, we only have the week because it's a school break for you, et cetera, et cetera. So instead of going in February, I am trying to see if we can instead go next July for our big week-long DVC
Yeah.
trip and then add on a couple of days so that we can do
Mm,
Universal as well.
yeah, and
So,
then that's it.
that's the plan. It's not like all the pieces haven't come into place yet, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're pretty much done talking about everything, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your evening to talk to me about my
Yes.
trip so I didn't have to sit here and talk to myself the whole time.
Of course, I'm such a busy man, so this was really hard to do. But you
You
know,
are. But you're also a fan favorite. And I'm
of
not even
course,
just saying that to make you feel good. Like every time you're on the show, people are like, we need more Alex.
yeah. I'm just a little tired today, folks. If I seem out of it, I'm just tired.
And
Cause
why are you
like
tired?
just I don't know. Just before.
I know
Oh,
why. I know why.
why?
You are tired because you stayed up super late last night because you just finished building the Dark
Lego.
Millennium Falcon
The
and you had
Dark Falcon.
a, a lighting kit
Oh my
to
god, that was
install in
so cool.
it to
Yeah,
make it light
I
up.
got a Dark Falcon Lego set from my aunt for my birthday. It was like 1,500 pieces, 1,520 something pieces maybe,
Hmm.
and it was
For
so
people who don't
cool.
know what
I
a Dark Falcon is,
It's
why
like a
don't you just
Millennium
quickly
Falcon, but like with a dark, with
the
like a
dark
black
side?
and red color scheme.
Yeah.
Anyways, I she also sent me, and I loved that she did this because this was like this made the whole thing even better. The gift so much better. She sent me lights with it, and the lights just kind of made it look awesome. It was so cool. It
Like
like
they're lights that are made to be put into this particular build, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's like specific lighting for the build. It's so cool. Like I don't care. I personally I don't care if there's wire, if the
Hmm.
long wire from the lights is showing. Because if anything, it just gives the set more detail, and I love it. And I just
It
love the
blends in
lighting.
really well.
Yeah, it does though. And
Yeah.
it's the battery. I think is the hard part to hide. But
Mm.
what I did, I just stuck it under the build because it had the studs on it.
Hmm.
So now it's like hidden and it looks awesome. And I took a
Mm.
video of it. And it's so cool.
Ooh, you know what
Yeah.
I want to do if you'll let me?
Yeah. What
I
is
would
it?
love to take a little video of it and put it on my stories so that people can see it.
No, no. Let me do it. Let me do it. I know how to take a good video of it. I did take a
Okay.
good video of it.
So you're going to do a takeover of the podcast Instagram?
Yeah, I'll take over the podcast Instagram, guys. Will you're it's gonna be like in Guardians of the Galaxy. This has been hijacked by
Uh-huh.
the
Okay. All right.
dudes.
Well, this episode is coming out this Monday. So
Foreshadowing.
if you can hijack that sometime Monday evening.
I'll hijack it and I'll put it in the video I took because
Okay.
it's a really nice video too.
Okay. All right. Well, listeners, get ready for that.
Yeah.
It is a really cool set and it has like it's all the dark side and then
I
like the
think
Darth Vader figure that came with it is all white. So it's like everybody's flipped and he's like happy and stuff.
Yeah, it's I think one of the saddest but nicest details I've seen in the set is when you take off his mask, instead of like a deformed burnt face like you see in the
Mhm.
in Return of the Jedi, it's like a happy, more content face.
Mhm.
And he's like it just makes me happy because it shows what could have been, you know. It's
Mm. Yeah.
sad, but it's nice. And I think the figures are the best part of the build for me because
Mm.
they're so cool. You got Darth Jar Jar Binks,
Yeah.
who is I think one of my favorite Star Wars characters,
Mm.
other than Ben Quadraneros.
Well, you have a big decision to make now that you've done this.
What?
Where the heck are you putting it in your room?
Oh my
It's
god,
huge.
this whole conversation again. Keep barging into my room, being like, okay, get rid of stuff. We got to
Where is
put
it
this
going to
somewhere.
go? Where is it going to go?
It's gonna go on my trophy stack here, because that's the real
That
trophy.
shelf is not big enough.
Yeah, yeah, it
It's
is.
going to stick out over the edge.
We can put it on top of this giant shelf behind me here.
Okay. Well,
Probably.
you're going to have to.
I'll probably take down a few Hess trucks. I know that's a little, you know, but I can still have a secret Hess truck collection.
Well,
Yeah.
you just told the world that you have a Hess collection.
A Hess truck. Yeah, for every year of my birthday. There's hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Well, I
6,
think you
7,
probably have
8,
14
9, 10,
at this
11,
point.
12, 13. Where's 14?
14's in the
14.
box still because grandma and grandpa just gave it to you.
15. No, no, no. There's 15 total.
Oh, there's 15 total? Oh, yeah, because you
I'm
had a
pretty sure.
Christmas when you
Wait.
weren't a year
One,
old
two,
yet.
three. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
This is
8, 9, 10,
riveting
11,
podcast content.
12, 13, 14. Yeah, 15 is in the box right now. I haven't taken it out of the box
Okay.
because there's
Yeah.
no room for it.
Alex's grandparents have gotten him the Hess truck every single year
And
for
I
his
love them
birthday.
for
Or
it
not for his
because
birthday, for Christmas.
I cherish my collections. They remind me of when life was better than it is now.
When life was simple, when you were
Yeah.
a kid, now that you're a man. Not quite as simple, is it?
No, not at
No.
all.
All right, we need to wrap this up. I really, really, really love it when you come on the show, Alex, and this is no exception. So thank you.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Got you, man.
Talk to you later, like in a minute.
Yeah, I'll walk a mile to see you in a sec.
Okay. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
love
Bye.
you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye. Thank you, Alex, for being willing to interview me, even though you were tired. Even at your tiredest, you are still very entertaining, at least to me. Alex will likely be back on the show in the coming months to talk about our Labor Day weekend trip. So please make sure you send him some love in the comments or through a review so I can show him how much you all love having him on the show. That is all for today. I hope everyone has a magical week and, of course, that you'll keep daydreaming about where you long to be.